not a suggestion. It is the absolute law of the universe. It pulls, it crushes, it claims everything that falters. Yet, here, on a sheer wall of ancient stone and modern concrete, that law is broken daily. Look closely at this impossible angle. A solitary figure clings to a nightmare 10,000 feet above the world. The Alpine Ibex, a master of the vertical void. Why risk oblivion? Salt, the very essence of life, baked into the barren face of the Cingino Dam. A mineral craving so deep, so desperate, it outweighs the absolute terror of the abyss. Every step is a calculated defiance. Highly specialized cloven hooves with soft, rubbery centers pressing into microscopic flaws in the unforgiving gray stone. A terrifying dance on a razor's edge. One slip, one heartbeat out of rhythm. One gust of mountain wind, and the earth reclaims its due. But this defiance, it is not new. It is an echo, a ghost from a brutal ancient past. "14,000 years ago, during the Pleistocene Epoch, the world was locked in ice. To survive the towering jaws of relentless pursuit of the European Ice Age Leopard, the ancient ancestors of this very ibex had to climb. They had to leave the flat earth behind and scale the vertical glaciers. Only those who could conquer the sheer blue ice survived. Their legacy is literally carved into the concave hooves gripping this concrete today. evolution shaped by pure terror and absolute necessity. But escaping the terrestrial monsters of the past only brought them into the domain of a new terror. Look up, where the air grows thin and the storm clouds begin to gather. The golden eagle, 7 feet of dark, heavy wingspan, piercing amber eyes that can spot a single tremor, a single moment of weakness from miles away. He is the undisputed king of this high-altitude hell, and he is hunting. He doesn't need to kill with a bite. He only needs to use the very force the ibex is fighting against: gravity. The wind shifts, a violent, aggressive howl tearing across the jagged granite. The eagle folds his massive wings. It becomes a feathered missile, hurtling toward the earth at terminal velocity. There is nowhere to hide, no lateral escape. The ibex is pinned to the two-dimensional plane of the dam wall. Trapped, a sitting target on a dead end. The impact is blinding, deafening. Razor-sharp talons seeking purchase in thick muscle and faded winter fur. The crushing upward weight of the raptor, fighting desperately to rip the heavy herbivore off the wall, to unbalance the center of gravity. The hooves squeal agonizingly against the concrete, a sickening scrape of life hanging by a single thread. The ibex swings a heavy, chipped horn, a frantic, desperate counterattack on a 90-degree battlefield. They are locked in a chaotic death spiral that isn't falling yet. The eagle pulls, dark wings thrashing violently against the freezing wind, demanding the prey surrender to the open void. The ibex pushes back, digging soft, rubbery paths into the stone with bone-crushing, desperate force. It is a war of pure endurance, a brutal clash of raw kinetic energy against friction and sheer will. Lactic acid floods their veins. Muscle fibers tear. The eagle's grip begins to tremble. The tremendous energy required to lift such immense weight, to conquer gravity itself, is too much. A violent snap of wings, and he lets go. The void takes only dust and a few drops of blood falling endlessly into the canyon below. The eagle retreats into the fading sun. A king denied his feast, forced to ride the thermals into another day, to scan the horizon for another, weaker life. Left behind, breathing heavy against the cold, unyielding gray stone, the ibex remains, trembling, bleeding, utterly exhausted, but anchored. Slowly, agonizingly, he begins to move again, up, away from the sheer drop, pushing past the pain. Until the hard concrete finally gives way to soft earth and green alpine moss. The summit, the sanctuary. He rejoins the herd, a survivor of the sky, and the stone, resting under the fading light. This is the eternal cycle of the Italian Alps, a brutal, beautiful war where every physical adaptation is a weapon and every single heartbeat is a victory over the inevitable pull of the earth. In the end, nature demands a staggering price for survival in these extremes. When you look at the sheer, impossible cliffs of our world, do you see a dead end or the ultimate proving ground for life? Tell me, what extreme would you be willing to endure just to survive?